right down at Palmer Square, but I moved out of New York. I was in
Governor.
working at the regional office for the last 8 years. Before I joined this.
Never thought about it. Let me think about it. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I said the same thing.
Hey,
Hey,
Governor,
John.
good to see you, sir.
Nice to see you, man.
You too. Pleasure. Thank you.
Catherine, how are you?
Good. How are
Good to
you?
see you.
Second?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe the train. I came to the beach.
We have to go back to the office. We have an excuse.
We went to formal.
Good to see you. Mayor, I haven't had a chance to say congratulations.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
First Lady, how are you? Good to see you.
Governor.
You too?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How you doing, Sue?
Doing great. How are you? We're here, right?
John, you ready to rock?
I'm ready to
You
go.
start?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. I don't know why I'm not more casually
Speaking
dressed.
in.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to Long Branch, to all our residents and visitors. Welcome, and thank you again for being here to witness this important legislation being signed into law. I'd also like to extend a very special welcome to our great governor, Mr. Phil Murphy.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you.
Governor, thank you for all that you do, for caring, and for working so hard for the people of New Jersey. Governor Murphy has always been a strong advocate for preserving and protecting the environment. He lives in Monmouth County, understands the unique issues facing oceanfront communities such as ours. Signing this bill banning smoking on public beaches statewide is a perfect example of Governor Murphy wanting to protect the public health and health of the environment here at the Jersey Shore. On a personal note, I want to thank the governor again for taking the time to swear me in as mayor 3 weeks ago. The governor and his staff has been incredibly helpful in reaching out to work with us and all the communities at the local government level. So again, once again, Governor, thank you. We appreciate all you do, and welcome back to Long Branch.
Honored to be back. Thank you, man. Steve and I were just commenting, this may be the perfect day of the summer, so I'm very happy we're doing it with this extraordinary drop back. It is always a treat to be in Long Branch any time of the year, but particularly in the summer. And I want to thank you, John, for your very kind introduction, and thank you for all of your support. To the members of your council I enjoyed being with as well on that same day to swear you in. To the other mayors who are here today from both Monmouth and Ocean County, to other representatives, it's an honor to be here. Today we're finishing a job, as some up here, and particularly Steve knows, that began more than a decade ago with the signing of the New Jersey Smoke-Free Air Act in 2006. Today, New Jersey is taking action to get the butts off the beach. Cigarette butts, that is. I'll throw a little humor in here. Very little, as it turns out. By this time next year, the only smell most New Jersey beachgoers will be enjoying will be the scent of salt air and maybe the aroma of some grilled sausage, French fries, funnel cakes wafting off the boardwalks. These are the smells from which Jersey Shore memories are made, not cigarette smoke. I thank the bill's sponsors, starting with Senate President Steve Sweeney and Senator Vin Gopal, in whose district we are standing today, and Senate Environment Committee Chair, who's not with us today, Bob Smith. In the Assembly, I extend my thanks and congratulations to prime sponsors Clinton Calabrese and Assemblywoman Valerie Vineri Huddle. Valerie, honored. Is Clint here or not? Is he coming? Okay. And Clint's not here, and also who are not with us today, I want to give a shout out to Assemblyman Vince Mazzio and Paul Moriarty. I also have to thank Assemblyman Eric Hoteling and Assemblywoman Joanne Downey, who round out the rockin' 11th District here in Monmouth County, for their support. I'm also honored to be joined today by my chain-smoking wife, Tammy Murphy. That's not true. I just wanted to... I must also recognize Commissioner of Health, Dr. Sharif El-Nahal, and Commissioner Catherine McCabe of the Department of Environmental Protection, who are both with us today. And that's an important point to make, that both Dr. El-Nahal and Commissioner McCabe are with us, because we're not just taking action on a critical health issue in our state, but also a critical environmental issue. No one, hopefully, needs to be reminded of the dangers of smoking and of secondhand smoke. So as far as this law may prevent someone from starting smoking or encourage another to quit, that's definitely a good thing. But for the cleanliness of our beaches, this is a tremendous day. While many of us may look out and see white sand and surf, and others regrettably see the Jersey Shore as a roughly 130-mile-long ashtray. The results of the 2017 Clean Sweep by Clean Ocean Action spell this out. Among the litter picked up by volunteers last year, get ready for this is extraordinary, 29,000 cigarette butts, more than 1,150 lighters, and nearly 1,900 empty cigarette packs. And for good measure, 7,172 cigar tips. Each of these fouls our beaches, but cigarette butts in particular pose a threat to marine wildlife, presenting not only a choking hazard, but also capable of leaching deadly toxins. So and I might add that by extending this ban to our parks as well, we will not only ensure clean air, but also protect against one of the causes of wildfires, improperly disposed cigarettes. This was a long time coming. This bill had been passed by the legislature before. Steve and I spoke about it privately over the past couple of months, only to be vetoed by the previous administration. But this is a new day in New Jersey, and I am proud to now sign this legislation. In addition to the legislative champions, I must also recognize and congratulate Clean Ocean Action, who I referred to in a minute ago, and Executive Director Cindy Zip for their hard work and advocacy. The Jersey Shore has always been one of our state's, indeed our nation's, great natural treasures and a place for families. And today we're only strengthening our commitment to the shore. It is now my pleasure to introduce the lead sponsor of this new law in the Senate, Senate President Steve Sweeney. Congratulations.
Oh, God, what a beautiful day, right? And I can't thank Governor Murphy enough. It's funny, we sat around a table one day, I said, what do you think about smoke-free beaches? And he said, haven't thought about it, let me think about it. And we're here today. Because he had an open mind recognizing that this beach is not an ashtray. It's a beach. People enjoy it. It's beautiful. There's health issues, as the governor quoted. There's environmental issues, as the governor quoted. This is one of the greatest resources that New Jersey has. And again, it needs to be treated and respected that way. So I am thrilled to be here today. There's not much to say, Governor, except thank you. This is a long time coming. It's been frustrating because common sense legislation sometimes isn't common sense. To us it is, and to say we'll leave it to communities to make up their mind. We came up with a compromise. Each community, if they want, they can leave 15% of a beach for smokers to smoke. I would have preferred it to be absolutely no smoking, but it was a compromise. So at the end of the day, I think we really did something very good for the environment. I remember when we banned smoking in restaurants and public buildings, people said restaurant business was going to go down 20%. It went up. Our beaches are only going to get better because of what we're doing here today. So again, Governor, I want to thank you. I want to thank the other sponsors. This is a very good day for New Jersey. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you, man. Before I ask Valerie to come up, two comments that we were exchanging privately. Number one, I'm not sure what I was thinking wearing what I'm wearing. Obviously, I've been, or the other suits here. And secondly, when we go to questions, which we'll do in a minute, please have some sympathy for Murphy, Sweeney, and the other Irish here who are getting themselves doocy and others getting fried out here. With that, I want to bring up a leader in this fight and in many fights, and a dear friend and a great representative in this state, Assemblywoman Valerie Vinery Huddle.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much.
Great to have
I know. I had a 10-minute speech prepared. I don't know if your skins could handle it.
PowerPoint.
But seriously, you have to dress in beach mode. All right. But seriously speaking, this issue over a decade ago, I have been advocating for, especially in the parks, because as a mother back in the day, when my kids were young and they were playing in the parks or playing in the sand, making sandcastles and finding cigarette butts, in their sandcastles, or coming down the slide and sliding into cigarette butts, it was an issue not only as a mother, but even to see as a role model. When you see other people smoking on the beaches and the parks, you really don't want your kids to even see that. So I'm not going to repeat what everyone has said, but I do want to thank the leadership. And if it wasn't for Senator Sweeney reigniting this bill, we would have not been here today. So, Senator, thank you for doing that. And I also want to commend Long Branch and some of the other shore towns, because they really had vision years ago to ban smoking on beaches, and this just makes it uniform. And when we have the best gem in New Jersey, our beaches, smoke-free, just think what it will do for tourism. Think what it will do for the environment. So now we can definitely be proud to say our beaches are number one, which they are anyway, but with this smoking ban, it will just make us number one in tourism and, of course, family-oriented. So thank you to the governor and the sponsors, and I'm great to be in beach mode today. Thank you.
Here, here. Great job, Valerie. Assemblywoman Joanne Downey, who I spoke about behind your back not a few minutes ago, it was all positive. It's great to have you with us. Last but not least, we're in his district. I applaud his leadership on this and so many other things. Dear friend, fellow Monmouth County guy, Senator Vin Gopal.
Thank you, Governor. I want to first thank the leaders, Senate President Sweeney and Assemblywoman Valerie Huddle, for over a decade. They've been working on this issue. I appreciate the Senate President letting me join on in the last few months to take this on. So many children who enjoy all of our beaches here in the 11th District, Asbury Park, Long Branch, Ocean Grove. This is a real victory for each and every one of them. So thank you, Governor, for this very important day, and thank you to each and every one of you for being there.
Thank you, Ben. I think before we sign, we'll take a few questions related to government. If there's other stuff you want to talk about that's not related to government, I'm very happy to stay for a few minutes afterwards. Does that sound all right? Please. Michael, I didn't recognize you.
He's incognito.
Yeah. A good lesson for all of us.
Government. Okay, the budget. We've been listening on transportation, NJ Transit. We've been listening to you rail against the gimmicks of the past.
Yep.
Like using capital funds for operating expenditures. And it turns out that in the budget you just signed and say you're happy with, we're doing that and then some by another $50 million. How do you explain it?
Well, part of that was was indeed in the budget, but you also saw our Commissioner of Department of Transportation, Diane Scacchetti, pull that back to review it again. We want to make sure we get this right. We can't undo 8 years of malfeasance in the state's support of NJ Transit, either in the operating or in the capital side. So we're trying to get things like that. I've been asked about environmental settlements similarly over the past several months. We're trying as fast as we can to turn the page, to not cross the wires between operating and capital budgets. We can't get there overnight, but she's actually reviewing the budget, and I'm confident we will get to where we want to get to sooner than later. Please.
This bill doesn't specify who is to enforce this smoking ban. Who do you anticipate being the frontline enforcers? Lifeguards, police, special police, somebody else?
I guess it's going to depend on the local jurisdiction, and that's the way it should be. Steve mentioned the compromise of allowing local communities to designate up to 15% of either a beach or a park to allow folks to smoke in, but that has to be an affirmative action by that community. So this is not an automatic 15%. Secondly, the fines are significant. $250 first offense, $500 for second, $1,000 for each thereafter. And thirdly, in order to get this right and to give the communities a chance to set their local jurisdictions up, this is a 6-month hence bill. So this will actually take effect in January of 2019.
Well, who do you think should be the primary enforcer personally? Who would you like to see say, hey, put that cigarette on?
I would think it's the person at the point of attack, but a lifeguard is there to save lives first and foremost for people in the water. And we've had, unfortunately, too many riptides and too many lost lives already. So I don't want to add an extra burden on to the lifeguard and take him or her away from their primary mission. I think we should leave that up to the local jurisdiction. Yes, please. You can still smoke on the parking lot. Can you still smoke on the boardwalk? No boardwalk, right? No boardwalk? Parking lot's okay, boardwalk's not okay.
So this is going to tackle the smoking problem on our beaches. What is your
Yeah, we're doing a lot. The Commissioner of Health, Dr. El Nahal, is here. We put out a $100 million program several months ago. Getting out ahead of it, we endorsed the last administration's reduction of first round of prescription down to 5 days. We've had Tammy and I have a family member who's had some surgery lately, and folks in other jurisdictions are dispensing OxyContin like they were M&Ms. We believe medical marijuana can play an active role as an alternative, as well as for folks who are recovering from addiction. More point of attack money. We pull back. We don't think television advertisements, particularly folks in my vintage, are going to make much of a difference. So we've deployed that money elsewhere. We're big money ball people. So in the opioid crisis, unlike in other health arenas where there's lots of data that would guide you on your policy decisions, there's very little in the opioid crisis. So we've put a significant amount of money into gathering the data that we need to gather to ask ourselves on an iterative basis, are we doing the right thing here? Or is this policy working? Or if not, what else could we be doing? So there's a whole series of things. Dr. El Nahal can follow up with you afterward. My pleasure.
Any non-government question, or you want to do that?
We'll do non-government after we sign. Is that all right? I'm still getting used to the hat and the sunglasses, Michael, so please bear with me. I agree with that. Thank you all so much for coming out. Mayor Pallone, thank you and your whole team for hosting us so graciously. Senate President, Senator, Commissioners, doctors, Assemblywomen, mayors and officials, environmental advocates. It's a great day for New Jersey. Thank you all.
Mayor. Ed Donovan from Madison.
Hi, Mr. Donovan. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you. How are you feeling?
Much better, thank you.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. That was
John, Mary, the most anyone's ever wanted.
Richly deserved. 10 number 1, Senate President Steve Sweeney. Congratulations, Steve. Senator Vin Gopal. Assemblywoman Valerie Vinieri Huddle. Mayor John Pallone. Cindy, you still there?
I'm right here, right behind him.
Cindy gets the
100%. Usually the last one. Thank you.